Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. I decided to do a short little vlog today because yesterday at the store I got this. And if any of you are following, let's see, Gwenny, Style by Gwenny, or Yoda Style, or Bits and Bags, or Winnie B LV, or Dale's Addiction, or Devin. Okay, so everyone's been trying this out, and I finally just went for it. I didn't get the Vegemite, but I am just gonna try the Marmite today because I'm pretty hungry. I just walked Oolong this morning, like 3.5 miles. All right, I'm gonna put a whole bunch of butter on this. And yeah, butter makes it better. And I think Autumn did this too. Anyways, so lots and lots of butter. Plenty of butter. I'm using plain white bread. I was gonna use sourdough because I like sourdough toast, but I think the flavor of the sourdough would interfere with the flavor of the Marmite that I'm gonna be trying. Okay. I'm just gonna take off this lid. Okay. Okay, there it is. Whew. Okay, just a very thin coating. Oh no, I need to get a clean knife. Hang on. So I got a better knife. What does this remind me of? Can't think of it right now. Okay. I'm just putting on sort of gummy. It's like almost like molasses. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Just the texture. All right. I put it on half of my toast. Can't believe I'm doing this. No makeup. Just walk 3.5 miles, whatever. All right, here it goes. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Yeah. I think I'll actually finish this. I've mentioned this in a couple of places, but my only other experience with Marmite was in 1997. I was in England, and I was traveling from London to France. Actually, I wasn't going to Paris. And I was traveling across the channel on like a ferry. And I don't know why I did it this way, because the first time I went to England, I took the train. I took the Eurostar and went to Paris. But this time, I was not going to Paris. I was going to Grenoble, and so I was taking this bus from, I think the bus was like London to Grenoble with a bunch of stops. So it's basically Greyhound. And so I was on this bus, and we were on the ferry boat crossing the channel, and I was really hungry. I was starving. They had some food on the ferry, and it was like the middle of the night. This was a really long bus ride, like 15 hours or something. So, and I was vegetarian at the time, which I'm not anymore, but at the time I was vegetarian, and so there wasn't very much food available to me on this bus. They just had some cold sandwiches in like a cooler, right? And so one of the sandwiches was this veggie sandwich. And it had like, you know, lettuce and tomato on it. It was, I can't even remember. It was just something really gross. And it had been sitting there for who knows how long. Hours, maybe, who knows, days. So, but one of the things on the sandwich was Marmite. It was a Marmite veggie sandwich. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm really hungry and I'm really poor. And I've got, you know, I think they were, I can't remember if it was euros or pounds yet, but it was probably pound. I probably was using pounds for this ferry, and so I had like 2 pounds or whatever to buy this sandwich, and it was so disgusting. It was so salty. Like maybe they had put on like a lot more than this as part of the sandwich, but it literally left a bad taste in my mouth for Marmite going forward. And I've never tried Vegemite. I'll try that one next, but this is a very different experience, obviously. It was salty. That bite was salty. Now I can see how, sorry. I can see how this would be a good spread in a sandwich. You could have this, and then you could have some kind of meat and greens or veggies, or something that's not very salty with this to balance it out, and it'd be really good. So if you are, if you've eaten Marmite more frequently, like if you are English, how do you have it? Do you just have it on toast with butter, or do you ever put it on a sandwich or on like a burger or on some other dish? Do you use it differently than just this way? Let me know. So that wasn't bad at all. I don't know if I would eat this every single day, but it's high in B vitamins, and I like B vitamins. And my toast cooled off, unfortunately, so it's not warm anymore. Maybe I will try warming that up so the butter melts and see if that helps. The other thing I wanted to talk about while I was eating my toast is I was thinking about, I made a list. I was thinking about some of the other YouTube channels that I follow or subscribe to that are not luxury. And there's quite a few. And it just occurred to me that all these channels that I watch, that I enjoy, every single one of them has more subscribers than all my luxury channels, almost all of them. I think there might be a couple luxury channels I watch that have more than these guys, but maybe just like maybe Sophie Shohei. She has 350K, but or something like that. But yeah, most of these have way more, and it's just interesting. It just made me think about how the luxury community on YouTube is actually pretty niche. It's pretty small compared to other genres that people enjoy, which is fine. I don't expect it to be huge. It's luxury. It's not really got a lot of mass appeal. Like, for example, New Rock Stars, which is, they have 3.5 million subscribers. And I enjoy New Rock Stars because they just do videos about Marvel movies and television shows and Star Wars and other sort of geeky pop culture stuff that's out there. And so I enjoy watching those with my family. There's also, let's see, I watch quite a few channels about language learning. Hang on a second. Okay, I just had to reheat my toast to get the butter to melt. And I also made a little tiny coffee, my espresso. It's so cute. So good. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so a lot of the channels I follow are about language learning. I myself do not speak a second language, though I've studied French quite a bit, and I could manage myself in France. I probably did a better job of it back when I visited in the late 90s a couple of times. I got by. In other words, I was able to get food and find places, read directions, just get around and survive. But I could not hold a real conversation. I could do transactions where I was buying food or finding the restroom or finding like where my train was, basically. So I wanted to study it again. Last year I started doing Duolingo, and I did that for almost a whole year, almost every single day. But then I realized I wasn't really learning anything. I wasn't really learning the way I wanted to. So I went on YouTube and I realized there's other methods to learning language besides total immersion, which is obviously the very best way. And I started getting interested in more different languages than just French, because while French is a great language and I really like it and I enjoy it and I wish I learned it more. I should learn English too. I wish I'd become more fluent in French. There are other languages that I would be interested in exploring that would, of course, be more difficult, but it's never too late. One of the people I follow, his name is Steve Kaufman. He is a language expert who also offers a learning service, and I think he himself speaks 20 languages. He's Canadian. I think he's in his 60s or 70s, and he didn't even come to language learning until later on in life, and he always talks about how it's never too late to try to learn a new language or a new skill or anything. It's never too late, and it's a really good thing to remember. Another couple of channels for language. These guys are much younger. I think they're in their 20s. Frankie Light. I'll link everybody down below. Frankie Light and Shauma, who both live in New York City, and so they are surrounded by different, hundreds of different languages all the time. They don't really even have to travel to find different language speakers. And they are both basically fluent in Mandarin, and they have lots of cool videos about speaking Mandarin with native speakers in New York, and also learning a whole bunch of other languages, not fluently, but just conversationally, kind of the way that I was able to use French, just to have a very simple conversation and get by. And I find them very entertaining. There's another guy. This guy's name is Simon Roper, and he's English, and I think he's a student. And he studies linguistics and anthropology, and he basically studies the English language. His channel is very, very basic, simple, not a whole lot of high production values, but he's really, really smart, and he has 150,000 subscribers, and he's just sitting in his bedroom talking about Old English. So that's why I love YouTube. It's amazing. It has everything. And it's amazing to find out that there's so much interest in a lot of this really, you would think, obscure content. I also subscribe to Wired. You might remember Wired magazine from the 90s. Their YouTube channel is really interesting because what they do a lot is bring on experts or different people to discuss different subjects. That's basically it. You can just learn about so many different things from their channel. Who else? Ollie Richards, he's another language learning person. He also does a language teaching business too. Another one that I really enjoy is Lost in the Pond, and this guy, Lawrence, he's English, but he moved to the United States over 10 years ago and lives in Chicago. And his videos are just all the different differences he observes between England and the United States. And there are a lot. And he's really, really funny. He's really clever. He's really smart. His sense of humor is super dry, which is what you'd expect from an English person. And he's very entertaining. And I've learned a lot from his channel too. And yeah, I've been to England 3 times. First time was in '96 when I was 23. I traveled all by myself. In fact, I've only traveled by myself to England or Europe. And usually to meet people there who I knew and stay with them. And I'd wanted to go to England basically my whole life. And I finally went, and I was so excited. And it was so different. It was really cool that it was like so different than the only place I'd ever experienced, which was the West Coast of the United States. And then in 1997, I went again, and I went for 6 weeks, August and September of 1997. And I stayed in Leeds most of that time with some people I knew there. And I just felt like I was just really living there. I was staying in a house. And so that was really cool. And as you probably remember, in September of 1997, and I was in London for September. In September of 1997, Princess Diana was killed. And so I was in London for that, and it was pretty bananas. It was insane. Yeah, and then I went to France right after that happened. I had a really terrible time. My first trip to France in '96, I had a great time. In '97, the friend I was staying with, she was just, I don't know. She had changed, let's just put it that way. She had changed a lot, and she really wanted me to speak French, and I was like doing my best, but you know, anyways. Oh my gosh, this is the Costa Rica espresso pod. I like Costa Rica coffee anyway, so I ordered it. It's so good. So that about wraps up my little vlog here, trying out the Marmite. Surprisingly, I liked it. It took me a while to take the plunge and buy it because this thing is $9. And I think the Vegemite is similar in price. They had it at my grocery store last time, a month ago when I was there, but then they didn't have it when I went shopping a couple days ago, which makes me think, wow, other people in my small town are buying Vegemite, which is kind of cool. I live in a pretty small town, like 11,000 people. But yeah, they'll probably get some back in, and when they do, I will try the Vegemite. I don't think I've ever tried Vegemite in my life. And if I have, I don't remember. I might have been, I don't know. I don't think I have. So I'm interested to see how I feel about that one. If I see any differences, which I'm sure I will. I mean, everybody says it's different because it's not the same thing. Anyway, thanks for joining me today on my extremely casual, no makeup vlog. I just wanted to get this done now because I was really hungry. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I would really appreciate it if you have the time to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.